This is NDTV. And you're watching Ndtv-Hindu.
Good evening. This is Headlines Now on Ndtv-Hindu. I'm Evelyn Matthew. Joining me in some time is our reporter Pratiksha Ramkumar, who uncovers the big story for the day on how plush apartments in your neighborhood may be a frequented brothel in town. That special story coming your way in just a minute, but first, a look at our headlines. Are Chennai's posh residential spots turning prostitute hubs? An Ndtv-Hindu special report.
அடுத்தவங்களுக்கு சந்தேகம் வராது. இப்போ பிளாட்ஸ் தனி பிளாட்ஸ் ஹவுஸ் ஓனர் அங்கே இருக்கக்கூடாது.
The man behind the 2002 blast at Coimbatore is in police custody. A special team will bring him to the stage tomorrow. But in the blast that rocked Ooty yesterday, the families of the dead get 5 lakh rupees as compensation and a job with the Indian government. Mogape cries out for attention. The area is synonymous with potholes, bad roads and lack of parks. Gear up to call the city the Detroit of the East. The industrial secretary says it's on its way. And with a hand on their sacred hearts, schoolgoers bundle up their bucket list into a time capsule of their own.
Instead of excursions to other countries or states, we would like to have trips to the moon, and we would have a common aircraft instead of a school van.
Let's also take a look at what's making news nationally. 2 years after a fateful 26/11, India wants neighbouring Pakistan to punish the Mumbai attacks perpetrators.
They promised me that they will arrest all the 7 persons whose names are handed over to them. They have not done that so far.
Bihar's new Chief Minister Nitish Kumar is sworn in along with his Council of Ministers today. As the opposition stalls the parliament again, government launches a counter-strategy. Congress MPs refuse to take their daily house allowance. India's women athletes win the 4 into 400 meters relay at the Asiad and a goal in Kabaddi. And here's what happened to a bunch of rude men who boarded a women's compartment of the Delhi metro. Well, moving straight ahead on to our top story, the image of posh localities in Chennai as peaceful abodes and has been blown asunder if statistics of the anti-vice squads are to be believed. These upmarket areas in the city, it seems, are not immune to the underbelly of crime, of a thriving flesh trade now on with impunity. To ward off suspicion, brokers are now shifting their illegal business from lodges and hotels to plush apartment complexes. Pratiksha Ramkumar throws the spotlight on the surprising new red light zones.
It's out of the closet. From those shady lodges, the sex trade is spreading to some of the best addresses in Chennai. T Nagar, Anna Nagar and Velachery. Apartments in a few of these residential areas in the city have reportedly seen raids by the anti-vice squad in the last couple of months. Close to 70% of the 114 raids conducted so far have been in prominent localities.
After strict enforcement of police people, now these brokers are shifted their location to some outer areas. Then even sometimes these apartments, the 200, 250 house flats are there. No? Their apartments also, they are doing this business nowadays.
Sex workers argue that they are doing nothing illegal. They cite Section 8B of the Suppression of Immoral Traffic Act, which states that only girls soliciting in a public place can be booked.
ப்ராப்ளம் வராத வரைக்கும் அது வந்து யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். எந்த மாதிரி வீடுங்க செலெக்ஷன் பண்ணுறாங்களான்னா அதை அடுத்தவங்களுக்கு சந்தேகம் வராது. இப்போ பிளாட்ஸ் தனி பிளாட்ஸ் ஹவுஸ் ஓனர் அங்கே இருக்கக்கூடாது. அவங்களுக்கு வேணுமானது கார் பார்க் இருக்கிற மாதிரி அடுத்தவங்களும் சந்தேகப்படுற மாதிரி வீடு மாத்திரம் செலெக்ஷன் பண்ணுவாங்க.
நாங்கள் எங்கள் தொழிலுக்கு போயிட்டு வந்து நைட்டு தூங்கணும். அதுக்காக எங்களுக்கு கண்டிப்பாகவே ஒரு வீடு எங்களுக்கு தேவை. நாங்கள் எங்கே போவோம்? எங்களுக்கு வீடு இல்லைன்னா நாங்கள் என்ன பிளாட்பாரத்திலாமா படுக்க முடியும்?
This new trend has made house owners more cautious and reluctant to entertain prospective tenants who are unmarried. So bachelor pads, paying guests, twin sharing accommodations and cozy corners for a bunch of girls to shack up are increasingly hard to come by.
என்ன சொல்கிறாங்கனாக்கா உங்களுக்குலாம் வீடு கிடையாது இங்கெல்லாம் கிடையாதுன்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. அதே மாதிரி வந்து அட்வான்ஸ் என்னன்றாங்கன்னா கம்மியாக இருந்தால் கூட தாசி கேட்குறாங்க. 10,000 கேட்குறாங்க, 20,000 கேட்குறாங்க, 25, 30 கூட கேட்குறாங்க.
For the men in khaki, and for that matter even NGOs, keeping a tab on girls being brought in is proving to be quite daunting. And for residents, there could well be something murky happening in the neighborhood. In Chennai, Pratiksha Ramkumar for NDTV-Hindu.
And Pratiksha joins us live from the newsrooms for more inputs in that story. Pratiksha, after watching that report, a typical resident would obviously feel every bit uncomfortable. But is there a sense that, is there anything that you or I can do to perhaps change that? Or is the law pretty much on the side of the sex workers because all they want is perhaps a roof under their head, like they say?
Yes, Evelyn, see, a lot of residents, if we are going to try changing their mindset, that is going to take a very, very long time. People are very conservative. And a lot of resident associations also believe that a brothel or a sex worker staying close by could actually cause a security problem. In fact, yesterday when I met so many of these women, they were saying that the minute they move into a house, the first thing it attracts is the area rowdies who come there asking for money or harassing them or torturing them. Now, when this happens in an apartment complex or even in a slum, that causes a lot of disturbance to its neighbors, and they are going to evict this woman very soon. In fact, they were saying that the maximum they can stay in a house in Chennai is about 3 months, before which all hell breaks loose. Now, the act as such very, very clearly says that they can be arrested only if they're doing something in a public place. So most of the time when the police do raid these apartments, they usually frame a case where the girl has been forced to actually get into flesh trade, which is not really happening. So that's the situation, Evelyn.
Right. Thanks very much indeed, Pratiksha, for joining us with your inputs. Clearly, it's going to be a divided opinion, but we'll catch that in our bulletin ahead, where we'll get an NGO as well as a resident to talk about both aspects of what it is when that resident turns out to be a sex worker. But moving on now with other state news. After a lookout notice and then an arrest of Shabir Kochi, a special team from Chennai has left from Mumbai to bring the accused in the case of the attempted blast in Coimbatore back in 2002 back to the state of Tamil Nadu. The Mumbai police arrested the 32-year-old terror suspect wanted by the Coimbatore police in the case filed under the Explosive Substances Act. In fact, just yesterday the accused was nabbed by immigration authorities at the Mumbai International Airport. Meanwhile, in the blast that rocked the hills of Ooty just yesterday, the centre has awarded 5 lakh rupees compensation according to the Workmen's Benefit Act, and a total ex gratia of 10 lakh rupees for each family of the 5 killed in the cordite factory blast near Ooty. A job offer has also been made to one member of each family by the Indian government. The blast had rocked the cordite factory located 12 kilometers east of Ooty, which left 5 workers dead and over a dozen injured. The factory is a part of the ordnance factories run by the Government of India and produces arms, ammunition and equipment for the Indian military. Now, once a sparsely populated backyard, today Mogaper in Chennai is a burgeoning residential locality that is punctuated with apartment complexes. Schools, specialized hospitals and IT offices have catapulted Mogaper as a favorite business destination. But surprisingly, basic civic amenities are a far cry for the residents of the area. Lokpriya tells you more.
Once a rural area, Mogaper has transformed into a busy residential neighborhood. But infrastructure at this western suburb is in a state of ruins. No road here is without potholes, and the recent monsoon has only added to the worries of the residents.
This road is very bad and it has many potholes, and it's very difficult to ride a cycle over here, and my cycle gets easily dirty, and it's very irritating to wash it daily.
In rainy season we find more we don't know where potholes are here, so my cycle gets punctured every other day.
The only park that is present in the locality is yet to open to the public. And if roads weren't enough reason for the residents to worry, this vast bus stand is no different. Lack of shelters and tar roads inside the terminus puts commuters to hardship.
இவ்வளோ பெரிய பஸ் ஸ்டாண்ட் இருந்தாலும் ஒரு ஷெல்டர் கிடையாது எங்களுக்கு. உள்ளே நுழைய முடியாத அளவுக்கு சேரும் சகதியுமாக இருக்கீங்க.
When Ndtv-Hindu took up the issue with the Ambattur municipality, the chairman assured that repairs will be completed once the rainy season is over.
அம்பத்தூர் நகராட்சி முழுவதும் இன்றைக்கி பெண்டிங் வேலையை பார்த்தீங்கன்னா குறைஞ்சது ஒரு 8-10 கோடி ரூபாய்க்கு விட்டுருக்கும். ஆனால் செய்ய முடியல. மற்ற வாட்டு பாதியிலே நிற்குது, தார் சாலை பாதியிலே நிற்குது, பேட்ச் ஒர்க்கு செய்ய முடியல. நேற்று கூட 2 மணி நேரத்தில் பேட்ச் ஒர்க்கு செய்யலான்னு போனோம். நேற்று 11 மணிக்கு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா தூரேன். இந்த இன்றைக்கி செய்யலாம் பார்த்தா இன்றைக்கி மழை. அதுதான் காரணம் என்னன்னா வாரத்தில் 2 நாளைக்கு 3 நாளைக்கு மழை வந்து வேலை நிற்குது. வேறு ஒன்றும் ப்ராப்ளம். ஆனால் செஞ்சிடும். கொஞ்சம் மழை விட்டு தான் ஜனவரியில் எல்லாம் திட்டத்தையும் முடிச்சிடும்.
Mugappir is one among the many areas under the Ambattur municipality that are in a bad state. With the municipality set to be merged with the Chennai Corporation later next year, one needs to wait and watch if the merger actually comes as a whiff of fresh air for its residents who are battling a host of civic woes. In Chennai, Lokpriya, Ndtv-Hindu.
Well, a long list of troubles there for the people of that area. Well, still ahead on headlines now. India wraps Pakistan on its knuckles for not acting after 2 long years. Says it looks like they're not serious enough about the country.